Good afternoon. Thank you all for coming. Well, we're almost there. This show is about veterans and more. There are tissues passed out in case you didn't bring anything to dry your tears. Because there are some pretty heavy lyrics in some of these, the first part of the show. And the second part, and Jimmy's song and Alan's song. So anyways, you also have this Veterans Day, and it says here, on Veterans Day we honor all who answered to service call. Soldiers young, soldiers old, fought for freedom, brave and bold. Some have lived while others died, and all of them deserve our pride. We're proud of all the soldiers who kept thinking of red, white, and blue. They fought for us and for our rights. They fought through many days and nights, and though we may not know each name, we thank all veterans just the same.
Yes.
And that's, you can take that home and whatever. But anyways, this is not in the right order, but it's going to be. And I want to just say that in the first videos that you're going to see tonight, when you see a rifle stuck into the ground with a helmet on, that's a sign of honor for a fallen comrade. It originally started as a place where the graves registration people could come and find the body of an American soldier. That's originally what it started as. And now it has grown to a memorial to a fallen soldier. So there's a lot of those scenes in these videos, but originally it was for grave registration. And whenever Americans go into battle, following behind them by less than 24 hours is the graves registration people, so they get the bodies and are able to take them back. But anyways, let's get started with this. Now, like I said, these are not in the right order, but this is a really good one. And the words are there. We respect the hospital as the stations go rolling along. Oh, hunt and start to the hunting as the stations go rolling along. Oh, high, high, deep, I'm not a great reader. Anybody in the Army? How about the Navy? This is yours. services, and the Marines. I wasn't in the Marines, I was in the Army, but I'll say this. The Marines had the best looking uniforms, and they had the nastiest fighters, other than the Navy SEALs and the Army Green Beret guys. Stop that. Let's see, turn down a little bit of gain there. 1, 2, 2, 2. Okay. So, you're going to give me that, huh? 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. 1. Can you still hear me? Yeah. Okay, good. All right, now on the next video, we have a song, and this was a very nice song. And it's about, it's about a person saying, oh, I'm going to miss you while I'm gone, while you're gone, or I'm going to, you know, or a little boy says, Daddy, I'm going to miss you. His little daughter, I'm going to miss you while you're overseas. And he says, well, he said, you know, I'll always be a part of you. No matter what happens, I'll always be there. And so they pumped up this song. And this is a beautiful song. And one other note that I turned the lights on. Now I can't see my notes. So this is about that occurrence. And if you've ever been away, maybe, you know, your husband or your wife went on a business trip, and they were gone for 2 or 3 weeks, you know, and you were missing them, but they always say, I'm still with you. So let's see what the Lone Star people have to say about this. You got to read a little, I'm sorry. These are astounding numbers. I'm in the 211. And like I say, there's going to be some sad points in the first half of the show.
He called her on the road from a lonely, cold hotel room, just to hear her say, I love you one more time. And when he heard the sound of the kids laughing in the background, he had to wipe away a tear from his eye. Little voice came on the phone, he said, Daddy, when you come home, he said the first thing that came to his mind, I'm already there. Take a look around, I'm the sunshine in your hair, I'm the shadow on the ground, I'm the whisper in the wind, I'm your imaginary friend. And I know I'm in your presence the shadow on the ground. I'm the whisper in the wind, and I'll be there till the end. When you feel the love that we share, oh, I'm already there. Oh, I'm already there.
So, as you see, they're telling their little son, their little daughter, I'm already here, so you don't have to, worry that I'm not with you. I'm with you everywhere. And if the good Reverend was here, we would have said something else. Why is that doing that? I'm going to find out. Okay, now the next one. Every soldier that in combat, I don't know about the administrative end of the services, but everyone who goes into combat gets a chance to write a letter. And he writes that letter and he seals it up and he addresses it and he gives it to the first sergeant or the company clerk. And the company clerk, first, they keep that letter on file. And if by chance you happen to be killed in combat, they mail that letter. Via your instructions, they mail that letter to their wife, to their mother, whatever. They mail that. And this next song is about that. The narrator is talking about what he wrote in his letter. And this is very, it's a very sad song, but it's by Tim McGraw. And I usually call him Tug McGraw, but that was a long time ago, Tug McGraw. And it's called If You're Reading This is what happened with the letter.
My mama's sitting there. Looks like I only got a one-way ticket away. I sure wish I could give you one more kiss. War was just a game we played when we were kids. Well, I'm laying down my gun.
There's the honor.
I'm hanging up my boots. I'm up here with God and we're both watching over you. So lay me down in that open field out on the edge of town. And oh, my soul, it's where my mama always prayed that it would go. If you're reading this, you're reading this, there's gonna come a day you move on and find someone else, and that's okay. Just remember this, I'm in a better place. The soldiers live in peace, and angels sing amazing grace. So take me down in that open field out on the edge of town, and Lord, my soul is where my mom always prayed that it would go. If you're reading this, if you're reading this, I'm already home.
How are we doing out there? Uh-oh, we lost our first person. All right. There's some fun songs coming up. But anyways, because it is Veterans Day, you know? And I'm going to take this over here. Now, has anybody ever heard the expression, when my ship comes in? Oh, when my ship comes in, I'm going to make a killing, and I'm going to be, you know, oh, I'm waiting for my ship to come in. Well, this next song is called The Ships That Don't Come In. And, oh, I wanted to go back at one thing about the letter thing there. Normally, when the addressee, wife, mother, whatever, it gets that letter in the mail, they have a hard time opening it and reading it by themselves. So they call their husband, or they call their oldest child, or what, to come over with and comfort them while they. It's a very emotional thing to do. I don't know if anybody's ever got one of those letters. But it was written by the soldier himself. And this next one is Ships That Don't Come In. And this is the premise of this song. There's two guys, two old guys, sitting in a bar. And they're talking back and forth. And they say, well, you know, this one doesn't understand. And this one goes down, and she's sure that her husband's coming home, even though she's been told no. So she's waiting for the ship that's never going to come in. That's what this song is about. And let's see what they can. It's called Ships That Don't Come In.
Tell it had a tough life by the way he sat and stared. And me, I'd come to push and shove, so I pulled up the chair. We talked of roads untraveled, we talked of love untrue, of strings that come unraveled. We were kings and kindred fools. And just when I hit bottom, that old man raised his glass and said, at least we've had our chances. There's those who never have. So here's to all the soldiers who have ever died in vain. The insane locked up in themselves, the homeless down on Main. To those who stand on empty shores and spin said it's only life's illusions that bring us to this bar, to pick up these old crutches and compare each other's stars. 'Cause the things we're calling heartaches have hardly worth our time. We bitch about a dollar when there's those without a dime. And as he ordered one last round, he said, I guess we can't complain. God made life a gamble, and we're still in the game. So here's to all the soldiers who have ever died in vain, the insane locked up in themselves, the homeless down on Main, to those who stand on empty shores and spin against the wind, and those who wait forever for ships that don't come in, and those who wait forever for ships that don't come in.
Okay, now, I want to go back just a second. When they were playing that video, and they showed the Korean War wall in Washington, D.C., and I said, that's spooky. Did you hear? What's spooky about it is if you take a picture of that wall, when you get it developed, don't just have it on your eye. Take it and get it, because it comes out like it's in 3D. It's very spooky. It's just like they're marching right at you. And I still have a couple pictures at home about it. And it's kind of spooky, you know. Oh, there's no water in the restrooms, by the way, if you're curious. Yeah, they always pick the best time to have one of those thingamajigs. What are they called? No, that's the weakest today. Yeah, so, John Michael. Okay. And that last song was done by the late Joe Diffie, who died in April from COVID-19. Positively identified as COVID-19. He was only 56 years old or something like that. And he left a beautiful family and a great recording career. He was just a fabulous singer and very popular. This is the one we want, yeah. So, there we go. I was supposed to have a TV here so I could see everything right there and not have to look. But when I bought this nice part, it didn't work. So, my luck, you know, today I got up, I made the bed, I made breakfast, and then I went and made my wife a bucket of ice thing for her knee. Then I went to the store to get 20 pounds of ice, and then I was doing this, and I had to do that. And through it all, I lost the key to my office. So I don't know where it went, but it's probably laying in the parking lot at the Circle K. And it was on one of those nice Encore things where you squeeze it and the red light shines. And it's probably the last one that was still working there. So the next one is by a guy named John Michael Montgomery, JMM. And this one, it's a letter, but it's a different kind of letter. It tells the story of how the soldiers wait for mail call. Man, you could skip meals. You could not feed them for 3 days, but don't miss mail call. Gotta have that mail. And so this is about how he's waiting, and his mother's writing him a letter. Okay, and there's a very sad thing that happens there. And then it shows him getting the letter, opening it, and showing it to all his friends, and everything. And then there's one written by his wife/girlfriend. And it goes on and on. But the fathers never write letters to their sons overseas. Did you ever get a letter from your father? No. Anybody else who was in the service, did you ever? You don't get a letter from your father unless it's something really bad. And so at the end of this, the father writes a letter. It's very touching. And they're eating cookies. Now, we know this is made up because anybody who ever got a package from home that had cookies in it, you know it was like sand. It was all crunched and crumbled, and you just ate the cookies with a spoon. Well, here they're passing them out, so, the packages with cookies and brownies and stuff didn't do well being delivered. As much as you tried, but you know what? It still tasted great. Priscilla could send me some meatballs. Right? So this one is called Letters from Home. And it's the reverse of the other one.
My dear son, it's almost June. I hope this letter catches up with you and finds you well. It's been dry, but they're calling for rain, and everything's the same old same in Johnsonville. Your stubborn old daddy ain't said too much, but I'm sure you know he sends his love. And she goes on in a letter from home. I hold it up and show my buddies like we ain't scared, and our boots ain't muddy, and they all laugh like there's something funny about the way I talk when I say mama sends her best, y'all. I fold it up and put it in my shirt, pick up my gun and get back to work, and it keeps me driving on, waiting on dry my eyes. I fold it up and put it in my shirt, pick up my gun and get back to work. And it keeps me driving on, waiting on. Letters from home.
And you see, the one letter that made him cry was the letter from his father. He could barely hold back the tears of the letter from his father.
Joe,
Yes.
we have a letter from my husband's father sent to his mother. It was before they were married and he was in the military. He wanted to come home for Thanksgiving and she told him that he couldn't come home because of the influenza and everything that was going on here in the United States. And we have a copy of that letter.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on to it forever, because it's quite a thing. Let's move it over. Where'd you go? There it is. Get rid of that. These all work differently, you know. And it's nice to know that something that I actually said up here, somebody actually has in their possession. It's really good. And there's a lot of things that happen in the military that a lot of people don't know about. And the military basically is a large family, and they do try to take care of each other as best that they can. And now this next one, we're almost at the end of this part. This next one, Dad takes his son/daughter, put in whatever you want, it takes them to a Veterans Day parade, after which they walk together to his father's gravestone in a cemetery, and they put flowers on the gravestone. And he tells them a story of these fallen but not forgotten people. And this video and song also takes in policemen, firemen, ambulance drivers, doctors, nurses, whom I'm missing. Did I say ambulance drivers? And all, even the guys, the people that clean the floors and the rooms in the hospital. They fight to keep the germs away from everybody. So this video, though it's based as a military thing, it takes in, and you'll see, takes in all those first responders, they call them. Now you're going to start now, after that big thing.
He stood beside his daddy and watched the soldiers marching by. It was Veterans Day and he wondered why there were tears in Daddy's eyes. Later they laid flowers beside a monumental stone. He said, "Son, my daddy went to fight, didn't make it home. Fallen, not forgotten. He was a hero. He stood so tall.
sands of desert storm. They were soldiers in Korea, in World War I and World War II. They paid the price, some gave their lives, and they fought for me and you. Fallen, not forgotten, they were the heroes who stood so tall. A blessing, but freedom has a price. We must remember those who paid it with their lives. Remember the fallen, they're not forgotten. They were the heroes who stood so tall, and forever we will remember with honor and glory. They gave their all. Fallen, they're not forgotten. They were the heroes who stood so tall, and forever we will remember with honor and glory, honor and glory, with honor and glory. They gave their all.
And that's what he was trying to impress upon his little grandchildren, is that they may have been fallen, but they're not forgotten. And have you ever been to any of those military cemeteries? When you any way you look, it's one, all you see is one cross or one tombstone. All you see is one, because they are so perfectly aligned. And you can see it that way, and then you can walk over here, and it's still perfectly aligned. It's just like one in each row. They're fantastic, and the precision and the care that they get, and luckily the man will leave them alone. The next song was called Butterfield's Lullaby. Now you all know which one I'm talking about now, right? Hey! Minnesota must have got their butt whipped. Jimmy's here.
No, I was actually watching Arizona.
So you're here too. You're going to be here for the good songs. Hi. And this is a song of honor and respect, as most military. You would want all the videos that you've seen today, if they were being played someplace, you would like the audience to respect them because they have a lot of meaning. And you don't get those videos out of rappers or AC/DC, heavy acid, whatever it's called. For some, it all comes out of country artists because I think they feel more for the country because of the way they had to work their way up. I don't know, but anyways, and it says turn the page. This song first came in when a soldier in Captain Tidball's artillery company was killed, and they buried him in the woods where they held this property, and they buried him, and so they buried Captain Tidwell's son. And he says, you know, the enemy is right there, 100 yards away, but we can't do the 3 gun volleys, you know, boom, 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 because it would give us away. Well, sure, that'll give you away. Let me see, do I have one over there? No? Okay. So we'll do here. That'll give them away. So what happens? Where'd you go? I didn't take your... Oh, there it is. Went too far. So what happens? He said, we'll play this song on a bugle. Now, I don't know, but bugles tend to carry a long ways. And this song is better known as taps. And the first line is about a soldier's day is done. And it could be a sailor, it could be a Marine, whatever. But that's what the first line is. And I had all the words here someplace. And it's, yeah, I do. I got them printed out there. One interpretation. There's a lot of interpretations to this song. And so they played this. Now, just to show you there's no pressure, this is John F. Kennedy's funeral. And you're going to see his brother that morning, Bobby, try to walk away before the ceremony is over and somebody grabs him and pulls him back. But there's no pressure on the guy playing taps, because it's only President Kennedy's funeral. What pressure could there possibly be? So, why is that open? So, this is the actual taps from JFK's funeral, and he does miss 2 notes in there. It got him. But I imagine he practiced for at least 10 minutes. So, if you all who can, please stand. And we're gonna play this. See, there he goes. Get your ass back here. 14, 21. Seats. Hey, just like they say to the military. Well, just a minute. So that's taps, and that's a very special song. but it meant end of day. Who asked? Oh, sure.
Because there's very few bugle players anymore, so now they have a tape that goes in the bugle.
Yes.
And just anyone can play it.
I know, I have one of them. Yeah, I said I want somebody to play my thing, and then my wife says, well, I'm going to burn you. Okay, so you can still play it. Well, we probably won't have any electricity there. So, anyways, that was text. Now, you have a choice. We could take a break now for 7 minutes, or we can do our world famous band songs and then take the break. You want to hear the band songs? Oh, you guys are easy. All right, and we've got some pretty good songs coming up here. But after this, Jimbo, we're going to take a break. I'll tell you this, that last month's show, we actually put it on YouTube. Okay? And we were going to get you all the information. So I was watching it, and all of a sudden it went blank. And I got 2 emails that we had a copyright infringement against us, and they had us stop showing it. But it didn't hurt my standing with my account. And one of the infringement claims came because I used the Ed Sullivan Theater marquee on the first, on the song Delilah. Who cares about Delilah, that song Delilah? But anyways, that was one, and the other one was from the movie Bodyguard, when I used I Will Always Love You. So we're going to try to snip those 2 out and put it back up. But if I didn't use the clip of Ed Sullivan Theater, if I used a different one, there probably wouldn't have been any problem whatsoever. So, anyways, that's why it's not up there. I was watching it, and then it just went, we're done. Okay. Don't come and arrest me. And I got so bad, I even told Roger Matthews. They sent him an email about it. He had nothing to do with it, but he put the first one in there that's still up there. For some reason, it's the first one is still up there. But I don't want you to see that one. That was really bad. Okay, so now, this is songs that were banned, censored, or not released because of some reason. And let me tell you, there are some strange reasons, but I get my buddy in here. I get Mr. Jerry Lee Lewis in here. And I love Jerry Lee, but when I do a dance, I always skip over his music because and once I start playing one, I want to play them all for Jerry Lee. And so I just kept skipping them in all these shows too. But he's in this one. He's in this one. And in this one, the producer, Sam Phillips, everybody knows who Sam Phillips was, with the Elvis, and he was the one that signed Elvis to the contract. He wanted Jerry Lee to do this song, and Jerry Lee didn't want to do it because it wasn't a good song for a Southern Methodist musician to play, to do, because it has some sexually, I can't say that word, that's it, in the song. And so there it is, but he finally gave in and it became a #1 hit. But then it came out when he went to England with his new wife. Anybody know that Jerry Lee was married once when he was a teenager? So anyways, he went over there and they found out that he was married to this 13-year-old girl. But he really wasn't. But anyways, and so they threw him out. They didn't just ban his music, they threw him out of the country. And so he had to come back to disgrace, and he went to country music and had 5 #1 hits in country music. And the outrage was so bad that you know, they made a song. We're going to do novelty songs one day, and it's called The Return of Jerry Lee Lewis. And it starts with him coming back to the airport, and it's very funny. But this song, and they also thought that the devil was up there throwing balls of fire at everybody, because
You shake my nerves and you rattle my brain.
Whoa!
Got your love drives a man insane. You broke my will, but what a thrill. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. I let you love what I thought it was money. You came along and moved me, honey. I changed my mind, this world is fine. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Kisses, baby. Feels good. Hold me, baby. Well, I want to love you like I love should. You're fine, so kind. Got to tell this world that you're mine. That you're my nail down and that's what you're my fun. I'm real nervous, but it sure is fun. Come on, baby. It drives me crazy. It's just great balls of fire.
oh, why would you ban that song? That was a big hit. It sold 5 million copies. Pretty good for a song that he didn't want to do, but was forced to do it. And one other side thing about Mr. Jerry Lee, he was my first piano teacher. He gave me a couple piano lessons in his dressing room once at the Hearthstone Manor in Depew, New York. Jim knows where that place is. On Dick Road. Yes. Yeah, we had a good time. He only drinks Coca-Cola now after he burned his stomach out. So we just had Jerry Lee. Now, who else could we have? But Elvis. He's got a banned song this month. And this one was banned for religious reasons. Elvis was always very respectful of the women that he worked with in his lifetime. He was a very respectful person. And his mother taught him well. His mother's name was Gladys, by the way, which is my wife's name. And my wife don't have as much money as that Gladys has. So anyways, and this one was banned for religious reasons because he took Adam and Eve, bang, clashing. He took Simon, and there's that name again, Delilah, bang, crashing. And that's what this song was about. And they couldn't believe it. It was the second shortest song that Elvis ever did. And it sounded like this.
Well, a hard-headed woman, soft-hearted man, been the cause of trouble ever since the world began. Oh yeah, Elvis and the world began. A hard-headed woman, a thorn in the side of man. Adam told Eve, listen here to me, and don't you let me catch you messing around that apple tree. Oh yeah, Elvis and the world began.
Jimmy, do you know the shortest Elvis Presley song?
No, I don't. What year was that? About 56?
Yeah, this was 58. Hot Dog from the movie G.I. Blues at 1:58 seconds is the shortest Elvis song ever. But let me tell you one more thing about this. This short song ran less than 2 minutes, of course, and it hit #1 in the United States. But those people in what country? England banned this song from airplay by that self-appointed guardian, the BBC, because of the clashing of the biblical characters. So they said, Elvis, you know, people from England, if you're first time here, you know how much I love the people from England and their tremendous sense of humor. All right, now, so we had Jerry Lee and we had Elvis. Who could be next? The Osmond Brothers. Huh? The Osmond Brothers. They've got a band song here this month. Wow. Who would think? And Donnie was in the group. This was the Osmond Brothers. And they were all like 13, 14 at that time. And they made hits. They were becoming big stars, but they were doing songs that Tom said, I'm your manager, you're doing this song. And this one said, you're doing this song, and you're doing this song. They had no choice in the music they picked. So they got to a point where they were very popular, and they said, we're going to do this song. And Donnie couldn't participate on this record because he was going through puberty. And his voice was way, you know, and he couldn't sing. So his brother, Jerry, had to do the singing in this song. And this song was banned. And it's amazing why this song was banned. The name of the song is Crazy Horses. All right? And it was a banned because horses went to heroin. Okay? And it was way ahead of her time. The song really is about the ecology. They thought the Crazy Horses was the big cars, you know, those 57 Buicks and Mercuries and Chevys with the big engines and everything. So that's what they were singing about, but everybody interpreted as it's a drug song. And as sales were prohibited in South Africa, they interpreted the word horses as referring to heroin. It was also banned in France. France. They don't do anything in France. They believed the lyric, smoking up the sky, was about drugs. But what it was about was the fumes from these big classic cars was polluting the sky. So and this is, I would have banned the song myself just for this intro. This is an Osmond Brothers.
There's a message floating in the air, from crazy horses riding everywhere. It's so morning, it's every town got to stop them crazy horses on the run.
All right. Okay, so now, that was the Osmond Brothers. So now we banned Jerry Lee and Elvis and the Osmond Brothers. And now we've got a guy, very nice young singer, got mixed up a lot with an old blues singer called Jimmy Rogers. But his name, and he got mixed up there a little bit. But this one, and I'm using it here because it was banned in Buffalo, New York, by the Catholic Church, which meant that no radio station would play it. The Catholic Church was awful powerful in Buffalo, New York. And why was it banned in Buffalo? Because it talked about creation in a whole different way than the church was teaching. And our old Monsignor Kosminski Polish, of course. He get up there on the pulpit, he pounding out this song, and the adults have no idea what he's talking about. Only the young people know. And this guy had a beautiful voice, and he had some big hits. But this song actually was the #1 hit across the whole country. And it's called, you gotta listen to this one.
Well, it's a darn good life, and it's kind of funny how the Lord made the bee, and the bee made the honey, and the honeybee looking for a home. And they call it a honeycomb, and they roam the world, and they gather it all of the honeycomb in the one sweet fall, and the honeycomb from a million trips made my baby's lips so honeycomb. Won't you be my baby? Well, a honeycomb be my home. Got a hank of hair and a piece of bone, and made a walking, talking honeycomb. Well, honeycomb, won't you be my baby? Well, a honeycomb be my home. What a darn good life when you got a wife like a honeycomb.
There. Did you see the creation references in there? It's not what the church was teaching. Okay. But I'll tell you this, most kids in 3rd grade knew more about creation from this song than they did from the Bible. What was that, Marge? Marge? Is that you? Oh, hi. I seen him, but then okay. So anyways, that song was born. Bands. Now this next one I can understand it. This one was about the troubles we're having with civil rights in our country, in the Middle East. It even takes in the American space program. But this was banned, and this guy mumbles like, who's that singer that just mumbles all the time? But this one was banned because of the content, and they couldn't get anybody to sing it because they said, no, this is going to be a disaster for my career. So the guy who wrote it, Barry McGuire, he sang it, and it was a great song of protest. And I don't know if it's still a great song of protest or not, because I don't pay attention to that stuff. So here's it, and you'll hear him mumbling through the whole thing there. It's called The Eve of Destruction.
The eastern world, it is exploding, violence flaring, bullets loading. You're old enough to kill, but not for voting. You don't believe in war, but what's that gun you're toting? And even the Jordan River has bodies floating. But you tell me over and over and over again, my friend, you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction.
Okay. Now, that was banned in a lot of places. And one of the major places that it was banned in was Armed Forces Radio. You never heard that song in Vietnam on the radio, except if you watched the movie Good Morning Vietnam, because they put it in the soundtrack. But that song was banned and wasn't allowed to be played for the guys who were out there fighting for the freedom for you to say you can't play that song. Figure it out, okay? Now the next one, I don't have the lyrics of why this one was banned. This one was banned because of some lyrics, and MGM record or company made him go back and redo the first stanza of this song because they didn't like the lyrics. But I can't even find that version, so we're going to play it because it's on this thing and I got to do it, or it's, you know. And it's called Rhapsody in the Rain, and it's by a guy who could have been Frankie Valli's brother, because he both had the same voice.
Baby, the raindrops play for me. How lovely rhapsody. 'Cause on our first date, we were making out in the rain. And in this car, our love went much too far. It was exciting as thunder. Tonight I wonder where you are. The windshield wipers seem to say, together, 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 together. And
Yes, so they wanted a clean version, and if you printed out the lyrics, every 8th word, because there's one line, and the second line has to have a thing, and then the 4th line has to rhyme with something. You could probably figure out what words were supposed to go in there, or were there to begin with, and had to be taken out. And now we have the taste of resistance. I always save the best, most stupidest one for last. This song was written, and it was banned by country music stations and regular pop stations and everything. And the first reason was it was written during the Watergate investigation. Okay? And the songwriter, do we have his name here? Where did it go? I didn't have his name here anymore. Okay. Oh. Okay. The songwriter liked the phrase that was coming out in the press. And you'll figure this out in a minute. So he's writing this song. And he said, oh my goodness, now we got to get somebody to sing the song. And there was a guy sitting over there in a corner. Why don't we get him to sing the song? It's just going to get banned anyways. So, okay, yeah, get Charlie Rich, come over here. Stand in front of that microphone, here's the lyric sheet, and sing the song. Okay. But not only did it turn out to be one of the most romantic songs in the history of music, but it was closed to the country. They closed it because initially it was too racy for their listeners. Racy? We all know what that means, right? You put $2 on number 6. So this was that song. And the phrase in the Watergate investigation that the press was using was, what's going on behind closed doors? This one was banned. Great piano. And this is Charlie Rich.
our baby makes me proud. Lord, don't you make me proud. She never makes a scene by hanging all over me in a crowd. 'Cause people like to talk, Lord, don't they love to talk. But when they turn out the lights, I know she'll be leaving with me.
Here comes the racy part.
And when we get behind closed doors, when she lets her hair hang down.
Shut up. Okay. So anyways, that was why that was kind of racy. Huh? kind of racy. In 1909, it may have been a little racy. But did you ever dance to that song? No. People, it's just a great song. Okay, stand up and take a couple of minutes. And then we're going on. We got some good stuff. We're going to cut a couple we know already, but we got a good one coming up for Mike, or for Jimmy. Don't leave. Don't leave.
Oh, yeah.
How did we make it through the first half? Was that okay? I didn't make anybody walk out. One walked out and she came back. That was very nice. And you see, I made a decision I wasn't going to do, God Bless America. Can you hear it all the time anyways? And it's a birthday song. It's not this. And Veterans Day turned into the second Memorial Day, somewhere along the line there. So it's good it's okay to mix Memorial Day and Veterans Day songs together. But the birthday songs, Stars and Stripes Forever, and that's all July 4th stuff, So now, we've got one of my favorites. Last month, we did her first song, and it was a big hit. And this one, it seems that in the first one, this girl, Leslie Gore's girlfriend, went out with her boyfriend and came back, and they were going together, and they left poor Leslie Gore there all by herself and everything. And what was it? Oh, and it's my party, and I'll cry if I want to. See, and that started a whole language in the early 60s, well, it's my party and I'll cry if I want to, So anyways, we've got the second one here. This is where, and I don't believe you women would do this, this is where she went out and actively politic to get this Jimmy back with her and leaving that other one, Judy, off there to cry by herself. So, and you'll notice on this song, the Leslie Gore, because she had such a big voice, some people have big voices, and some people have small voices, and I can't hear them, hearing aids or not, I can't hear. So anyway, but because she had such a big, powerful voice, they put power in all of her music. And you'll see here on this video that the band that they've got 3 or 4 trumpets. I mean, it's just powerful music. And so let's see. And Leslie's going to tell you a story about this song anyway, so come on, Leslie. Where'd you go?
Who are familiar with the name Leslie Gore, associated with a song that I recorded back in 1963 called It's My Party, and I'll Cry If I Want to. You must remember that song? That's amazing. Well, I can tell you now, that was frankly a very, very traumatic song for me to sing. You see, I had this big party, invited all of my friends. By the end of the 3rd verse, my very best girlfriend, Judy, she was going steady with my guy, Johnny. Most humiliating situation. Didn't really know what to do about it at all. I had to resort to what I've come to think of as the 60s solution. And for me, that was the sequel. Does anyone remember the follow-up to It's My Party? Judy's turn to cry!
Here it comes now.
And came back wearing his ring. I sat
this is something you're not going to see very often. This drummer is reading drum sheet music. I don't know why he's reading the sheet music, but here he is.
So I kissed some other guy. Johnny jumped up and hit him, 'cause he still loved his wife. So now it's Judy's turn to cry, Judy's turn to cry, Judy's turn to cry. 'Cause Johnny's come back to me. Oh yeah, it's Judy's turn to cry, Judy's turn to cry, Judy's turn to cry.
So that was the Delightful. That was her name. That was her, everybody called her on the radio. Delightful Leslie Gars. We're going to hear this song. Okay. So now we're going to bypass our first cut of the day. Now we have a song. Remember that last month I asked Jews to see if anybody could figure out who Red Foley's son-in-law is. Does anybody figure that out?
Pat Boone.
Pat Boone. That's who said that? Jim. Yeah, that's it. Pat Boone. He married Red Foley's daughter Shirley, and Pat and Shirley were married for 63 years. And they said it wouldn't work. And I remember, as a little kid, I was watching the Pat Boone show on TV. It was a summer replacement for something. And it was live. It was live. Whatever happened, happened. And the singing guest star was Tennessee Ernie Ford. And Pat Boone's wife, Shirley, was very pregnant. So they got a call backstage, and the stage manager said, Shirley just was taken to the hospital in labor. Okay. He said, he told his assistant, well, what do you think? Should we tell Pat? Or not tell Pat? Wait till the end of the show. No, let's tell him now. So while Tennessee Ernie was singing, they called him over and said, Pat, Shirley's on the way to the hospital in labor. And Pat was gone in 2 seconds. And they had a half a show to do live and no Pat Boone. So they had to get Tennessee Ernie Ford to sing for the rest of the show. And that was it. Now, a lot of musicians know how to play the piano. Some better than others. But now on this song is written by Red Foley and another guy. And it was about a German shepherd named Hoover. And Hoover was poisoned by the neighbors. So, Red Foley wrote this song about his dog Hoover. Okay? So now a lot of people recorded this by a different name, of course, because Hoover don't sound like a pretty good song name. So now, this is the interesting part. Elvis was in the studio, and he was playing the piano. And they were doing this song called Old Shepherd. And Elvis is playing the piano for that. Okay? Because the original piano player wasn't there yet, so Elvis played it. And it's called Take One. And the other piano player got here and they did 4 more takes, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then they picked one out, but with the other piano player, not Elvis. So the guy who had to pick out the tapes to send to the master room picked take 1, which was Elvis Presley playing all of the piano in the song. And this is a copy of take 1. This is Elvis doing a song called Old Shep. And all the piano is Elvis. And they made a huge mistake by picking the wrong piece of tape. And this is Elvis playing the piano. You can cry if you want on this one.
When I was a lad,
I love that cover.
old Shep was above. Over hills and meadows we'd stray, just a boy and his dog. We were both full of fun. We grew up together that way. I remember the time at the old swimming hole when I without drown beaten down.
Snarl on
But
them.
old Shell was right there to the rescue. He came, he jumped in and helped pull me out. As the years fast did roll, old Sheppy, his eyes were fast growing dim, and one day the doctor looked at me and said, I can do no more for him, Jim. With hands that were trembling, I picked up my gun and aimed it at Shep's faithful head. I just couldn't do it. I wanted to run. I wish they would shoot me instead. He came to my side and he looked up at me and laid his old head on my knee. I had struck the best friend that a man ever had. I cried so I scarcely could see. Old Shelby has gone where the good dog is gone, and no more with old Shelby will I roam. But if dogs have a heaven, there's one thing I know. Old Shep has a wonderful home.
Jim heard time about 2 years ago, man.
You made me cry, Joe. I used to sing that song to my kids.
Yeah, that was a good one. And Marcia said, there goes that damn song again. Bad enough I got to put up with these kids and make them all cry. So now you know how, let me get this one, yeah. How I love arrangers, right? You've heard me talk about arrangers before. What they do, they take a song. We're going to play the same song, just a clip of each, same song, 3 different ways. And it's the same notes, it's the same little dots on a piece of paper, with a little flag here and there. It's the same, and it's just the guy they brought in to arrange it for the person. They have to arrange it for their voice, for the band, how many pieces are in the band, and this and that. So we're going to play this one, and it's not up there. Yeah, you'll recognize this first person. Then try to figure out on the second one what's different about it. People like this lady for some reason.
I fall to pieces each time I see you again. I fall to pieces. How can I be just your friend?
Okay, that was Patsy Cline, I Fall to Pieces. And the voices you heard in the background were the same guys you saw in the Elvis video of Old Show. Those were the Jordanaires. And believe it or not, Patsy Cline was nowhere as a solo artist until they put, through much fighting and screaming, they put the Jordanaires behind her. And that was the first song they were. And she became a gigantic star because the sound behind her was so important to the song. But now here's another person, same song. What's different about this one?
I fall to pieces each time I see you again. I fall to pieces. How can I be just your friend?
Okay. Now that was Leanne Rimes. And you heard the difference was much more bassy and loud, and the drummer was boom, boom, boom. You didn't hear a drum on Patsy Cline's version. Boom, boom, boom. Now we're going to have a guy do it. And, I moved myself too far up front here today. So now I'm going to find it here. This is a guy named Jamie Johnson, and real country music people know who Jamie Johnson is. So here we go. Listen to this version. This is a good one to dance to, Bill.
I fall
It had a strong beat in there, but it was very slow. It's like the guy was talking to you instead of singing to you the song. See? So now, that's what arrangers do. And they say, how do you want to sing this song? Well, I want to do it like this. Okay, we'll do that. So now we're getting down there. Let's put this one to bed here. Okay, not that. And I gotta get, okay, here it is. Now, we're gonna do a true story song. And it wasn't written by this guy, it was written by somebody else. And George Jones didn't want to do this song. Didn't want to do this song. Why don't you want to do this song? Well, I don't like it. Now this song won the Grammy for Best Country Vocalist of the Year. That's one of the things it won. And if I turn this over, oh yeah, okay. So now, it's all about him, and this is really good. We'll tell you the rest of the story after we watch this video. This is a good video, and it's got a lot of George Jones, if anybody's ever heard of George Jones out there. This is called Choices, and if you listen to the lyrics, it's his life.
I've had choices since the day that I was born. There were voices that told me right from wrong. If I had listened, no, I wouldn't be here today, living and dying with the choices I've made. Tempted. By an early age I found I liked drinking. Oh, and I never turned it down. There were loved ones, but I turned them all away. Now I'm loving and dying with the choices I've made. Since the day that I was born, there were voices that told me right from wrong. If I had listened, no, I wouldn't be here today, living and dying with the choices
choices, and he'll tell you, he would have told you at that time that he made a lot of wrong choices. And his last wife, straight home. But he was, the one choice was he picked up the guitar. And that probably was the best choice he ever made, was picking up and learning the guitar. So, and he was known as No-Show Jones for the first 15, 16 years of his career. He'd be booked and he wouldn't show up. So he never got paid because he had to give all the money back. Now, this is very, very interesting. This comes from the last performance of George Strait. King George, as he was called, and we asked for nicknames in a couple of months. King George is George Strait. And the thing is here, this was his last concert in Texas, and it was booked as a Texan Rides Away. And you see all them people. Would you like to hear how 104,793 people sound? Because there was 104,793 people in this arena in Dallas, Texas. And the first minute and 58 seconds is how 104,790 sound in the arena. Now the concert is over at this point in time. You can buy the entire concert on DVD. I guess you could download it, but I don't know how to do that. So anyways, so we're going to let you hear. I'm going to move this up to, move it up, and I don't want to turn it on. They're coming back. Oh, I'm going too far, haven't I? I want to go to 160. Where am I now? 37, okay. I gotta look at the right side. $116. I gotta go one more and then we're gonna turn it on. But the thing to watch is the people are having fun. This is a fun song. And when he starts singing, the whole 104,793 people start singing with him. And he's got 13 or 14 other people on the stage with him. And who does he have on the stage? He has Alan Jackson. You'll see him. Ray Benson, that's this guy. Vince Gill. Kenny Chesney is going to come into the thing. And then we have Sheryl Crow, Faith Hill, Martina McBride, and Miranda Lambert is there. And they found a course for the girls. So don't plug your ears too hard because this is only going to take a couple of seconds and then we're going to get to the singing. Now, they've already done 2-hour concert. And his guys, of course, are tired. But when he says, we're going back out, we're going to do some more songs. Because he asks for encore, and then he asks for another encore. And then, so anyway, let's see what, we're going to uncover that. And let's see what it sounds like. Remember, this is after the concert's already over.
so much. We know we'd always come back. So y'all want to hear some more music?
And watch the steel guitar player. He starts the song. He just sings the place in the bedroom. That's one of the best intros in country music right there.
That's why
A guy moving to Tennessee because all his ex-wives are still living in Texas. That's what that's about. But look at the people that came out to be with him on that thing, and just unbelievable. And so King George quit. And the one reason he quit is they wouldn't play his music on the radio. And you couldn't buy a ticket for, there's 104,000 reasons why his music should have been played on the radio. But it's very rare that you ever hear a George Strait song or an Alan Jackson Strait on the radio. We don't want a big wheelie here, we want just, okay. Now, we're going to do this song, and I want to say, the next one is Sunday, December the 13th, at 3 o'clock, and hopefully you all can come back again. All right, I'll move back. theme of that is Christmas and with 3 little dots after the and. Christmas and. Okay. Now, I'm not a big fan of traditional Christmas music. So we'll have a lot of fun with this one. Now, on this next one, this is our last song of the night. Don't leave till here because this is the hymn. And I put this in there, Jim, for you. But it's not the artist that you would have picked. And this is where the bears will be gentle. This is where the wolf and the lion will hold the sheep. You know what song it is? You'll hear. The singer on this, and I picked this because it's a big production. I love big productions. And the chorus behind this man, whose name happens to be Romance Watson. Okay, and did I get that right? Romance Watson, yeah. And this one, I went through 10 versions of this song, and then I went to Elvis's version. But Elvis against this one, and I picked this one. And Elvis wouldn't be mad at me for doing this. Because here it goes. The song is called Peace in the Valley.
Well, I'm tired and so weary, but I must travel on till the Lord comes and calls me away. Oh yes, well the morning is bright and the Lamb is the light, and the night is as fair as the day. Oh yes, well there'll be peace in the valley. Oh, peace there will be peace in the valley. Oh, peace, oh, I pray. There'll be no sadness, no sorrow, no trouble. I'm safe. There will be peace in the valley. Oh, where the bear will be gentle and the wolf will be tame, and the lion shall lay down by the lamb. Oh yes, where the beast from the wild shall be led by a little child, and I shall be changed from this old creature that I am. Oh, well, there will be peace in the valley for me. Oh, someday, oh, there will be peace in the valley for me. Oh, I pray. There'll be no sadness, no sorrow, no trouble. I see there will be peace in the valley for
Well, I want to thank you for coming. Now,